Just a quick thing I'd like to add to that, and I'd like to just go back to the original question, which I understand was targeted at Judy, but about what is the solution to what's happening in Palestine, right, in Israel? What is the solution? And as a Palestinian, I get asked this a lot by, let's say, by Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists. It doesn't matter. Like all my friends, my coworkers, they always ask the same question: what's the solution? And I'm going to start off by saying what Dimitri said was actually like on the money, in the sense where he said it's not up to us in an ideal world. It's up to the people living there. What can they essentially live with, right? It's up to them to decide. But what I'd like to add is that I know, of course, in today's, basically what has happened and it's irreversible. But the only way for me to wrap my head around whether it's going to be a two-state solution, one-state solution, is there a solution? It is so far-fetched because, first of all, Israel would have to admit that its own formation in 1948, in and of itself, was an injustice to the Palestinians. Then it would have to admit that the devastation caused to Palestinians is irreversible. Irreversible. Then, after everything that's happened in Gaza and the West Bank up to today, and ethnic cleansing that has been ongoing, and apartheid and everything that's been happening, at this point, it's almost as if we're at the point of no return. So, it seems like this will go on indefinitely. It seems like at the end of the day, there really is no solution. But the only thing that we can do at this point in time is not to say we believe it should be a two-state, one-state, three-state, no state, but rather, what can we do realistically? Personally for me, I'm not smart enough to figure this out. Damage is done. What do you do going forward? But what I know is what is for us to do at this point is to raise awareness about these injustices, about the oppression, and demand that Palestinians, at least now, Palestinians need human rights. And the fact that we are still trying to get Palestinians basic human rights has showed how much we have failed as humanity, how we have failed as an international community, how we have failed as humans. So if we can't even get basic human rights, I think the whole discussion about one-state or two-state solution is completely, it's not even an important question, it's not a relevant question at this point. And at this point, we should really focus on the important thing. How do we get Palestinians human rights? How do we resolve these things that are happening right now, and then from there, move forward? But without those, there will never, ever be any form of peace, as long as the Palestinians cannot breathe.
If I may, I'm completely in agreement that priority should be to secure the human rights of the Palestinian people. Everything else will follow. But I think the solution is very simple.